Hey everybody, welcome back to the Midwest Digital Marketing Conference Facebook Live series. I am Brianna Smith. I'm the Executive Director of the conference. And if this is your first time joining us, this is a series where I sit down with some of our awesome speakers that will be speaking at this year's conference. And we chat about some of the hot topics in marketing and their expertise and the conference itself. So at any point during today, if you have any questions or you're watching this after the fact, make sure to throw them in the comments and tell us where you're viewing in from. Right now, I'm here in St. Louis and it is cold and snowy and I will not be going outside for a few days. But today, I'm really, really excited for our next speaker, Nicole Krug, and she is the founder of Social Light. She founded Social Light in 2009 to help make the internet a friendlier place, which is such a great goal. And she just do that by providing the tools and training small business owners need for success online. She uses, through Social Light, she helps clients hone their digital marketing strategies to bring more exposure to their brand while boosting the bottom line. From developing marketing programs, e-commerce channels, to improving organizational performance and building profitable business relationships, Nicole truly understands revenue goals and how to meet them. And I am so excited to be sitting down with her today. Hi, Nicole.
Hi, how are you? You're going to make me blush with that lovely introduction you did.
I try. Well, no, but I mean, it's you, so.
Yeah, sometimes it's fun to hear other people talk about you because
Yeah.
you don't always remember all the cool things you do sometimes.
But I did that.
But as you said, digital marketing is kind of my thing. And I love working with small businesses and seeing kind of them grow. And my real sweet spot is people that have been around for a few years. They figured a few things out on their own, but they kind of plateaued. And it's time to kick them up a notch. And that makes it so fun because I get to do a lot of brainstorming and strategy. And that makes my day a lot of time.
So where are you located?
I am in not so sunny DC these days.
Okay.
You talked about the snow. I grew up in Chicago, so Midwest West and I are very well acquainted. We are warm enough that my snow is almost melted, but it's threatening again.
Yeah, I think in a few days we might get into the double digits again. We've been in a single digit for a while, so
I won't complain about my 28 degrees then.
Yes, no, please. I would like 28 degrees. So you guys are also suffering from the snow. Just let us know. I would love to have some people there with me. Awesome. So, but even if you are not dealing with snow and you have any questions today, or if you're watching this after the fact, you aren't able to join us live, throw your questions in the comments. We would love to answer them, whether it's about the topic we're talking about or the conference or just marketing in general. We both just love to chat marketing. But I have a couple questions on my list that I would love to dive into. So for those that aren't familiar with this topic that I know you're going to be speaking about at the conference, what the heck is data-driven marketing?
That is such a good place to start. And it sounds like one of those very fancy, intimidating marketing terms. But it's hard. It's really just making evidence-based decisions, which ultimately helps you get more value for your money. So think of it this way, or maybe I should say, I see so many marketing efforts that people are doing the same thing over and over again, and they think it works. They don't really check so much to see. And one of my friends likens this to, you spend all day, you're cooking this ginormous feast and putting a lot of effort in, and then you never taste it. You don't really did you put too much salt? Did you burn it? You don't really know what's true. And you can apply that same logic to your marketing programs. What you might be thinking, you put a lot of effort into a sponsorship or an ad campaign, and maybe it brought you $10,000 of revenue. That's awesome if it did.
Yeah.
But maybe you spent $10,000 and only 3 people came to your website. That's not so good. So what data-driven marketing is really just seeing the evidence to say, okay, that worked, that didn't. How do we move forward from here?
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Yeah, and I know I'm all about the data myself, but I don't think it has to be scary. I think you'll be okay. I promise. Nicole will teach you.
One of the things that's so scary about it is just the sheer volume. You don't know. I had a manager work for me one time, and she brought me this sheaf of papers, and she said, and she very gravely handed me the report, and she said, "This felt important." And I said, "All right, what are you going to do with it?" "I don't know, but it felt important." And I think that's just kind of the way, data feels sometimes, is it's so much, but what do you do with it?
Yeah, definitely. And I think one of the things you can do is maybe better understand your customers. Am I right with that? Like, how could it help you better understand your customers?
Absolutely. So I'm gonna use Google Analytics as a reference, partly because it's free, and so everybody, so many people use it. But when you talk about going down rabbit holes of data, I mean, this can get you down to the granular level of, are they using Safari versus Chrome? Are they visiting your website on their browser or, on their desktop, or are they using a phone? But even more importantly, in a lot of ways, is how are they actually using your website? Let's imagine you put thousands of dollars and months into launching this beautiful new website, and it's got, pages on your services and videos and this and that. But you look at your analytics and nobody goes past the homepage, and they only spend 10 seconds on your site, right? That's bad.
Yes. Warning.
That is a big red warning, because, something's not connecting with your customers. Most people are not that extreme, but, if you really want somebody to go to a white paper or, register for a webinar, and they're not getting on the page, well, what are they getting on? Are they reading your blogs? Are they, on one service instead of another? What analytics does is helps you understand what people are really looking for, and then you can adjust to try and both meet their expectations and get your information out as well.
Definitely. I mean, there's so much data in Google Analytics alone just to tell you more about your customers than you may not even realize you would know about them.
And it does, Google, love or hate Google, right? Google's so smart at these days that it can also, it gives you some basic demographics. You can get an idea. Is it women? Is it men? Who are the people that are coming in there? Because if you want to talk to teens, but you're getting old men, again, something's not
something's off
on your messaging.
Yes. Where are we having our issue here? But that may be your issue, why they're not converting.
I mean, because they're both valuable audiences, right?
But it may not be your target audience, and that's the issue. So we have all of these analytics, and we've kind of talked that it can be overwhelming. When should you use analytics?
So this is actually a really good question, because a lot of people skip the whole analytics part because they're not sure what to do it. So first and foremost, when you start an effort, be it a website, a campaign, or whatever, make sure those analytics are installed and tracking. So even if you don't know how you're going to use them or when you're going to use it, make sure it's in there so you start collecting data, so that either you learn how to use it or somebody else can help you interpret that. That's the very start. On a regular basis, for most of my clients, we create monthly dashboards that we have, a handful of key performance indicators that we want to look at. So first things first is we start by looking at a baseline. What's normal? Is it normal to have 100 visitors a day to your website? Okay, now we know that. And so when we look back at the months, we see, on the 18th, it went up to 300 visitors a day. That's cool. Then we can kind of work backwards and see, okay, what happened on the 18th? Go to a networking event. Did you put a sponsor Facebook post? Whatever it was, what happened? Because it was effective, so you want to do more of it.
Yes.
But, if nothing else, even if you don't do that, it's when you're looking at campaigns. So we go back to the mention of the website. You change things around. What was the result? Did you get more people on the pages you want? One of the great things is one of my favorite reports in Google Analytics is where people are coming to your website. Are they coming from social media? Are they coming from a search engine? Did you have an article in a magazine and they're coming that way?
Yep.
And so when you're doing those type of campaigns, like pitching a magazine, a podcast or something, and you get in there, you want to look after the fact of, okay, what happened? Did that actually lead people to your website? And that's how you judge success. Well, one way of judging success
Yes.
campaigns.
Yes. And I would think too, where to put your time and your energy moving forward.
Right.
Don't waste your energy on something that you've already proven doesn't bring quality traffic or people that convert.
I had a client for years, and this guy was a PR machine. He could get an article out of just about anything. It was magic the way he did. Unfortunately, we looked at all of that press, but that wasn't necessarily bringing his traffic in. And so, on what it's PR can be fabulous for exposure, but does it actually result in revenue?
Yeah.
And so those are some of the things that analytics you can kind of look to and when you should use it.
Definitely. Where your time is valuable, where should you spend it? Awesome. So if you guys have not bought your ticket yet to the conference, we're going to dive a little bit into what Nicole's session is going to be. At the conference, we have 14 live sessions and over 70 on-demand sessions, which is just like, there is every topic covered that you are going to want as a marketer.
Talking about lots of data.
Yes.
Lots of information.
Talking about lots of data. But in particular, Nicole, in your session, what can attendees expect to learn when they watch your session, which is titled Google Analytics 101, Learning to Make Data-Driven Decisions. So don't be scared of your data.
It's not. It's very we'll make it friendly. I don't bite hard, I promise. But what we're really going to talk to is that when you log into Google Analytics and you see that mountain of data, what do you do next? I'm going to walk through some of my favorite reports, not only what they are, how to find them, but how you're going to use them. Okay, once we talk Safari and Chrome. That might be a really cool thing to know, but can you use it?
Yeah.
So what we're going to kind of walk through is, Google Analytics, like I said, Google Analytics 101, it's your intro into it of learning, how to make sense of some of that data and not be so overwhelmed.
Awesome. So definitely if you're like, I know I have Google Analytics, or I know I need to set it up, but I have it, and you should, then you're going to want to definitely make sure to watch the full session. And the other thing is, obviously someone who hasn't gotten into it, but who should make sure that they add your session to their schedule, because who does it apply to most? Because there are, like I said, a lot of sessions. They can watch them all. They're all on demand. But prioritizing which ones they're going to watch first.
So, when you mentioned small business owners, and maybe if I say newer marketers, this is one of those, these sessions and those skills that is going to help you going from tactical to kind of get a little bit up to be more in your strategic decisions. But it's also, like you said, small business owners are often really good at what they do. Maybe that's coaching, maybe that's accounting or what have you, but getting an idea of even the information you can learn and those, how it helps you. Sometimes we're in the situation that we don't even know what we don't know. We don't know what to ask because we don't even know what's out there. This is a good introduction for people. If you've been using analytics for years, I'd love to say I'd teach you something new, but that's not the purpose of this session, right?
Yes,
you're a pro, go find something else. This is going to be more getting you started.
Awesome. So I love that. Small business owners maybe moving forward in your career, you're a manager who you're getting these reports, but you're not really sure what they mean. This would be one that you want to make sure to add it to the top of your list of your schedule to watch early on. But I also want to see, again, lots of sessions. Is there anyone in particular or any session you're excited to see yourself, whether it's a live session or an on-demand session?
The two that I saw that I'm really excited about, one is the video marketing roadmap for this year.
Mm-hmm.
Video is, I mean, video is huge. It's one of the things
Yes.
that I can see results from, but especially as we continue to be a little estranged from
A little bit, yeah.
everyone in the world.
Yes.
Video continues there. So I'm really interested to hear more and more about that and kind of the new techniques that people are evolving with.
Okay.
The other one is the TikTok one.
Yes.
I am, we all know about like funny dances on TikToks, but
Yes.
I personally haven't even ventured into TikTok marketing yet. It's so most of my customers are B2B, and that's not where their place is. But it is, it's not a flash in the pan anymore.
No, it is. It is sticking around, and I'm the same. I'm curious. I'm starting myself as I'm a user of TikTok. I don't post anything. Nobody needs to see those dances. But seeing how small businesses are using them, like B2C businesses, is actually very interesting. And I'm curious to see or learn and hear in that conversation kind of where TikTok's going as it's gone from this only kind of silly dances to actually a tool that businesses and influencers and stuff are using. So I agree. I am really, really excited about that one as well.
Well, that's the fun about marketing. Like, even if you are an expert, there's always something new to learn.
If you don't stay on top of like attending events and all the changes, you are not an expert for long, because it changes all the time.
But it's that old adage: if you call yourself an expert, you're probably not.
By tomorrow, you're probably not.
But that, what, that's one of the fun things for me, at least, about the digital world, is that it's always changing. Like I don't like the stagnant. I like changes, new things, and so that's one of those awesome things about digital, is there's always something new to learn, which I totally get can be frustrating for people, but it keeps it interesting.
Yeah, if you're someone who really likes learning, I think marketing is almost a really good career, because you have to be someone who likes to go out and learn and study and things like that. So all of us that are little book nerds and things, it's a good thing for us.
We love nerds. Love nerds.
Yes. We're all a bunch of marketing nerds. It's all right. We have a comment from Hillary. She says, "Thank you for breaking this down and making sense of it. Data can be such a rabbit hole, especially if you don't know what you're looking at." So agree, Hillary.
Absolutely. And that's, to say, sometimes I even find myself going down that rabbit hole. Even though I have a dashboard, I have my favorite 6 or 7 reports I go to, but sometimes I'm like, oh, look at that. And, you find that and you start tracking, and, if you could afford the time to do it, you find out such great stuff. But I mean, it's the same thing of going down a Facebook or a TikTok rabbit hole, right? Of this.
Oh, I was just going to say that. Like, all of a sudden you're just like, how did I get here? I don't understand.
And all of a sudden, I started this at 10 and it's 30.
But you can find such interesting information. But I think the biggest thing is how to use it, what data to actually look at, because so you don't go down the rabbit hole of data, because it can get crazy. All right. I don't see any questions right now. Just lots of love. Definitely needing that help with the where to look for the data. So I think you'll be getting lots of questions. But again, if you guys have not registered for the conference, it kicks off on April 26th, and which is not that far away. Crazy. But like I said, we have 14 live speakers, including TikTok. And we also have a speaker that was featured in The Social Dilemma. If you watched that on Netflix, if you haven't, recommend it. And then we have over 70 on-demand sessions. And if you, the live sessions are free to everyone. So even if you can't purchase a ticket, you get to attend all those 14 sessions live. For the paid tickets, you also get 1 to 2 workshops, depending on your tickets. Those are deep dive 3-hour workshops. So you can dive a little bit more, but you get access to all those 70 sessions for over a year, because need a little time to watch them all. And if you need to
Absolutely.
refer
Sometimes,
back.
like, especially if it's a really good session, you want to sit and just digest it, right? Not
Yeah.
jump into the next thing. And so
Yeah.
that's awesome.
My brain
for
needs to
all of
like
you.
actually process what I've learned. But make sure to head over to bestmarketingconference.com. You guys can see that right there. So you'll find all the information, the schedule, the speakers, our awesome sponsors, and where to get tickets. Ticket prices do go up March 1st, so just make sure to know to that. And workshops are starting to fill up. So if you want to do one of the workshops, just get those registered soon. But you will be able to, with your basic or ultimate ticket, you'll be able to watch Nicole's workshop on Google Analytics 101 and figure out how to actually use your data in the best way and the most efficient way to hopefully make your business more profitable and more efficient as well. Well, I want to say a big thank you to Nicole for joining me today on this cold day. No matter, I think, where you are in the U.S., it's a cold day.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me and for nerding out a little bit with me.
Yes, I am.
Kind of fun marketing.
Yes. If anyone knows me, they know I'm a marketing nerd, 100%. It's a problem. But it's a problem I'm okay with.
Exactly.
Awesome. And if you guys are watching this after the fact, still please post your questions. We will be monitoring the video and replying. So thank you again, Nicole. And I hope to see you guys all again next week.
Awesome. Bye.
Bye.